I want to bring in our guest. Hazem Dawani is a CEO at PreData, one of the firms working to do just that. Hazem, great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
You're a Chicago local, you've got experience in options, you're an engineer as well. Your company is PreData. Tell us exactly what you guys do and how it fits into some of the big things that are happening in the world right now.
Yeah, so PreData is an AI company that focuses around uncovering the predictive behavior that is hidden in web traffic data. Our customers utilize our platform to anticipate geopolitical and macro risks, detect off-the-radar shifts in online attention, and early indicators of economic trends.
Okay, so is this like when people watch, shows like Billions, right, and they see these hedge fund guys that all the special tools, they're looking at like satellite imagery, the tracking data. I mean, I'm kind of, being a little bit hyperbolic, but is that kind of along the lines of what it is?
It's the next step. It's definitely a lot more sophisticated than looking at pure satellite imagery or looking at credit card receipts,
okay.
Which are becoming mainstream now. Most of the hedge funds on Wall Street already use alternative data in their trading strategy.
Interesting.
And the next level now is utilizing AI to analyze and process very large amounts of data to identify patterns and surface unique insights.
Okay.
And that's essentially what we do at PreData, taking things to the next level.
Who is your sort of target audience then? If we have is it those more sort of institutional investors who feel like they once maybe had alpha through their means of discovering information, that now realize everybody else is doing the same thing?
Yeah, well, PreData started on the gov and corp security space, okay. Helping our customers anticipate geopolitical risks. And soon afterwards, financial market participants started seeking the company for the data sets, unique data sets it has. After that, we started looking at what else we can do, utilizing our systematic methodology and analyzing web traffic. So we started looking at demand-supply themes around commodities.
Okay.
Looking at FX-related macro trends that affects them. And most recently, we started looking at equities and equity sectors and the various themes that affect these sectors and how online attention is shifting around these themes.
So give us sort of an example of the data. Is it just social activity? Is it website visits? Is it things people are searching in? Where is the data and sort of how do you process it?
Well, the key to everything we do is that we look at the metadata. We look at anonymized data, web traffic data of where the attention is online, and by doing so, we are getting a better understanding and insight into what people are concerned about, what they're researching, what really the attention is, which tends to be the best predictive behavior of what they will do or say next.
Now, how do you distinguish the sort of activity between a sophisticated source and a non-sophisticated source? So I'm just coming up with something. I have no idea if this is the case, but let's say yuan devaluation, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say all of a sudden, searches on the internet in China start going crazy about yuan, fixing and what it's going to be at. How do you know if that's coming from a source that actually knows something about what's going to happen, or is just random people speculating?
Well, we do augment the AI with expertise, in-house expertise. We have a team of analysts with political and macro financial experience, okay, that help filter these sources and help make sure that what we are tracking is the right thing for the topic with the right sources. We also deploy AI to understand the patterns and the characteristics of these sources, what time of day they're getting browsed, and various metrics that we measure the sophistication and the type of audience that's looking at these sources.
All right, so can you give an example, like a case study? What do you guys sort of go and pitch when you say, hey, here's an example of the precognitive ability? Because the name's PreData. People are going to know, all right, give me an example.
Yeah, we have hundreds of examples. I mean, we look at things like stock market fear bubble. Okay. We track the level of fear in online around stock market bubble, and these we've seen anomalous behavior last year in October before big market volatility moves. We're constantly tracking these things, and we're tracking them through sources where the professionals are going. So we look at what if you were a professional trader you're a hedge fund manager and you're concerned about stock market bubble, what would you do online? And then we track these sources and of course analyze them and run rigorous tests to make sure that the topic we build, the index we build, is tracking the right thing.
So your first company, you come from a trading background and options experience. Tell me what you think are the tools that equity investors or traders are looking for. Kind of tell me how your data fits in together with either the signals that you're looking at right now for equities or what's most useful. Because stocks, of course, as many people know, are like the Pandora's box of markets. You have no idea what's fundamental. You have no idea what's sentiment. A company could have great fundamentals and all of a sudden a CEO does something sketchy and the stock drops 15%. So what do you find as the most useful for equity traders and investors?
Yeah, so I've been in fintech for 20 years. I've ran a company building options analytics and trading software for professional traders. It was 10 years ago, it was all about speed. Today is about trading smarter than just trading faster. So the key is to provide them with something quantitative, something that they can, a signal that they can integrate into a larger trading strategy where it helps quantify the external risk of geopolitics. And more than ever, geopolitics today is tightly correlated to the financial markets. It's been the last 2 years the major mover of the stock markets. It's the type of risk that every trader encounters, but nobody knows how to quantify and integrate into their trading strategies. And that's what we try to help with at PreData and been very successful at.
So for example, if we've got pressure this morning and in stocks, it's coming on the back of escalating protests in Hong Kong, are there ways to kind of track when that might subside? Are there tools to find information even coming out of a place like China where there's notorious kind of walls of information between there and the rest of the world?
Yeah, definitely. It's key to understand that we're tracking globally online attention. And what we're seeing with the Hong Kong and the Hong Kong peg, and we've seen a steady increase in the concern around the economy since mid-June. And that behavior is continuing. We especially more specifically around the banking sector, for example, which gives you a good idea of really the level that these political activities and most recent developments have been and will be affecting the market even more. We don't see that trend to stop at this point. We see that trend to continue, and it's definitely a concerning position if you are a trader and have some assets in Asia.
Given that you are using data in new ways, how do you develop sort of a baseline for the past and build out the sample set to testing against? For example, let's say right now there's escalating risks and conversation and chatter about China economy. Do you know how that compares to, say, 2015? Can you look back? Can you kind of reconstruct the data, or do you have tools to say, hey, it's escalated right now, but it's either more or less than 2015 when people were concerned equally about hard landing and devaluation at that time?
Yeah, we go back to 2010 in our data set.
Okay.
So we are able to reconstruct the data, look at the browsing metrics on the sources that we track all the way back to 2010, analyze the behavior of these sources, the signal levels at the various times historically to help us anticipate and predict kind of the next step.
Before we let you go, tell us sort of what you think then is kind of the next thing. Is there still plenty of alpha to be mined in what you guys do? It sounds like it, but what is sort of the next iteration of fintech that you think is going to be a big development?
Yeah, it's going to be key as AI innovations develop. It's going to be these type of technologies are going to be key in the adoption of financial market participants. Today, we see the top tier hedge funds, high frequency trading firms starting to integrate technologies, AI technologies into their trading strategies and data sets. But what we are building is just scratching the surface. Really, the level of specificity of what we're building is getting a lot more advanced. We're able to track things around certain companies now, shifts of online attention, where the research is, biotech companies before major drug announcements. We're taking things to the next level now.
All right, very exciting stuff. Hazem, great to have you here. Looking forward to more, and best of luck. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Hazem Dawani is the CEO of PreData.